Hey, good day, people. Thank you for tuning in with Profe Gayu. Hope you all doing well. It's been a while since I've done a live, so hopefully I'll have some folks logging on soon. So, so basically, with this live, I wanted to talk about my time with the Peace Corps and about going in right after college, being young, the experience of traveling, of living abroad, and the type of work I was doing and the different relationships I developed and the lifetime connections that I still have right now. So I wanted to get into all that just to share with folks. Maybe there's some folks out there that are thinking about traveling or living abroad or actually join the Peace Corps, whether you're old or young. And so that's sort of what I want to get into. So, so basically, uh, I've always had a love for travel, and that love pretty much started as soon as I had the opportunity. And even before then, it's probably started. It definitely started when I was a youngster in school, just reading about books and those books, especially the encyclopedia and different books about animals and things of that nature about the world, just made me understand that the world is way bigger than the United States. So soon after that, soon after I finished high school, I was in Mexico when I went down to Cancun, and yeah, I was in the resort part of Cancun, but I left the resort area to go to the real Mexican Cancun just to see what it was like. I mean, I know a little bit of Spanish, so I could get by the town, and it was definitely an experience. Just the people, the different culture, the different conduct and behavior, the smells, the noise. It was different, and I liked that, and I wanted more. So I went back to Mexico the following year. Then the following year after that, I went out to Belize. I did 3 weeks in Belize, in an island called San Pedro. Now, if any of you are familiar with Belize, Belize actually has a lot of islands. It's not, I know it's part of Central America, but it has a lot of islands, and along with those islands lie, there is the barrier reef. That is the second largest barrier reef in the world, and there you will find all kinds of tropical marine animals. We're talking about not just the fish and the shellfish and the birds. It is amazing. So for those of you out there who are really into snorkeling and scuba diving, I highly recommend you take the opportunity to get out to Belize, to San Pedro, where you can definitely get a chance to experience some of the best underwater scenery in the world. Really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed being out there in Belize. Belize was different, and I think Belize is different because in Belize they speak English is the official language, but if I'm not mistaken, Spanish is also an official language because probably half the population speaks Spanish as well, and so it's very Caribbean, probably more influenced by Jamaican and some of the other neighboring Caribbean islands, and a lot of Garifuna there, which is the group of people that uh, come from some of the lower Antilles, such as Saint Vincent and 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 Saint Vincent and Dominica, and I believe Saint Lucia as well, where they were, Africans that were never enslaved, and they integrated with the Carib peoples on those islands, and they successfully fought off the French and the English when they were trying to come in to overtake those islands, and because they could not be overtaken at some point, the English just moved them because they were just too rowdy and just fierce fighters, and they would not go down without a fight. So they were taken to an island called Roatan, off of Honduras, and from there they basically populated the entire uh, Caribbean side of Central America. So that's where you'll find, black folks that do not speak, that may have some influence from the Caribbean folks who have come over to work in the canals and the farms and stuff. But for the most part, they speak Spanish because most of those countries are Spanish-speaking countries outside of Belize, but they speak Carib language, and it's one of the it's one of the only groups of people that continue to speak that old Carib Iraqi language that was once spoken by the folks who inhabited the Caribbean islands when Christopher Columbus arrived. So get back to what I was saying. Belize is really awesome because it's very mixed in culture and language and in customs. You'll find they still have Mayan communities there where they speak the Mayan language. You have a lot of folks that live in Belize that originate from Mexico or Guatemala. And then you have a lot of folks coming in from the Caribbean, mainly, if not from the Caribbean, they have their roots tied to the Caribbean, such as islands like Jamaica and some other Caribbean islands. In addition, you have the British folks or folks from the UK or England who once colonized that area of Central America, who still have some ties there as well. So it's a very, very interesting yet small country. So I highly recommend folks who want to travel to get out there. I also gone to Cuba. Cuba is definitely a really awesome country culturally. The people are great people. Some of the most just friendliest, good people that I've ever met while traveling. And though I spent almost all of my time in Havana and haven't had the opportunity to go back to Cuba to really get to see some of the other parts of the island. Now that Cuban is more accessible now than it was once in the past, I highly recommend folks to get out there to visit Cuba. To the Bahamas, of course. I love the Bahamas, especially the family islands that are to me are reminiscent of the South. It's like the South, like the southern country part of the United States, where there's not a lot of people, very laid back, but Caribbean. That's how I could describe some of the family islands in the Bahamas. I've also gone to, I'm missing another country. Canada. Canada is just like the U.S. basically. And then after going to all those different places, then I joined the Peace Corps, where I served in Peru for over 2 years, and it was a great experience. And that story I'll jump into in a couple of minutes. I'm gonna drop this live, then I'm gonna come back as I spend most of my time talking about other travels. It had nothing to do with the title of this video, which is my time in the Peace Corps.